Hi everyone, welcome to Yoga LJ. My name is LJ. I'm a yoga teacher and a registered nurse, and today I'll be talking to you about the Vayus and the Nadis. So Vayu in Sanskrit means wind or air. Vayu has also been compared to Qi in Eastern traditions, known as life force energy. And the function of Vayus in our body is to channel and transfer energy. So it does have to do with conscious breath, but it's more than conscious breath. It's the conscious air that we have in the body. And knowing the 5 Vayus helps us better understand the different types of air in the body, because the density is different from the lower torso to the upper torso from our extremities. The frequency and density of air, it changes, is different. For example, the lower abdomen we digest, assimilate, break down, and excrete. So that's different from the upper torso where we circulate and exchange gases, versus our limbs, arms and legs has a much lighter energy, and the fingertips are the most sensitive part of the body. That's why in Reiki practitioners use their fingertips and their hands to provide healing to their clients. So arms and legs, much lighter, more sensitive energy. And then we have the neck and the head as well, that has a lighter, more sensitive energy than the lower torso. So as you can see, there's different densities and frequencies. And so the Vayus helps us to make sense of these. So the 5 Vayus are prana, apana, samana, udana, and vyana. Prana has to do with the in-breath, inhalation. So anything that we take in life, whether energetically, emotionally, nutrient-wise, toxins in the environment, it has to do with taking in. And it's from the diaphragm up to the top of the shoulder and includes part of the front of the face nasal cavity. And then we have apana, which is the lower torso. So the navel down to the pelvic floor. And apana has to do with the out-breath, exhalation. So elimination, excretion, letting go of what no longer is needed in the body. And then we have samana. Samana is between the navel and the diaphragm. And samana, it has to be consciously created. It's not like the in-breath and the out-breath. It's the mid-breath. And with specific practices, we can create samana, and that helps us to, it helps with discernment. So energetically, we're choosing what needs to be circulated in the body and kept, and what needs to be excreted, what needs to be let go of. So it's in between prana and apana, which is the circulating, taking in, and excretion. So there's discernment with samana. There's, it's a choice. You're choosing what energetic qualities are ideal, and you only want the best qualities, and you're getting rid of the rest. So samana. And after samana, we have udana. Udana is known as the extension of samana. It's the up breath. And so the essence that we're taking from samana that was created, the conscious choices that we've made that we want to hang on to energetically, we're ascending them through udana. And we're ascending that higher quality energy through the limbs and neck and top of the head, because that's where the energy in our bodies has a higher frequency and is lighter. And so we're taking it in and ascending it, bringing it into action into our lives. And then we have vyana, which is, it integrates all of the energies. It's diffusive. It helps bring balance of the different 4 other Vayus, brings balance and comprehension. So those are the 5 different Vayus. And we need to talk about the Nadis, because you can't really talk about the Vayus if we don't talk about the Nadis. And so the Nadis are wire-like structures that are throughout the body, and there are 72,000 of them. And what they do is that the flow of energy flow of consciousness runs through the nadis. So the Vayus flow through the nadis. And when the nadis get clogged up from impurities, then the Vayus, the wind, does not travel through the nadis, gets blocked. Similar to how an artery can get blocked with plaque and cholesterol, the nadis can get blocked with impurities. And when I say impurities, what I mean is energetic qualities. For example, if you're working through issues of shame, if you're dishonest with yourself, if you're dishonest with other people, that's toxic. If your relationships are toxic, if you have anger, if you're working through trauma. It can also have to do with our diets. If we, the diets, the foods that we eat, toxins in the environment can also affect the nadis. So it's not just energetic qualities, but it's also physical, emotional, spiritual. And so the nadis, within the nadis, there's also three main channels. There's the Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna nadis. These are three main channels that go up the spine. And they're connected to the Vayus. So Pingala is on the right side of the spine, up to the right nostril. And this has solar energy. It has a masculine archetype to it. It has to do with strength, ambition. It's an extroverted type energy. And that's connected with prana, with what we take in. And then there's Ida, which is on the left side of the spine, up to the left nostril. And that has lunar qualities to it. It has a female archetype. And so it's a more introverted, calmer type of energy connected with apana. And then we have Sushumna Nadi, which is the central axis. It's between the two, Ida and Pingala, up the center of the spine. And that's connected with Samana. And so Samana doesn't ascend Sushumna, but it can activate Sushumna. And it's Udana, the up breath, that ascends Sushumna. So remember, Udana is the Vayu that has the high spirit to it, high frequency. It's the energy that we made with Samana. We had discernment. We chose what we want to keep energetically in our field. And we take that and we ascend it through Udana. And then Udana ascends that energy up Sushumna when it's pure. When I say pure, I mean it's not toxic. Then it can flow through and raise our consciousness. And so that is the Vayus and the nadis. With the Vayus, concerning the air quality, it's as though we can see the inhalation and exhalation as two polar opposites. And with awareness of the Vayus, what we're doing is that we're transcending the inhalation and exhalation to come towards each other. And when we do that, we get a sense of expansiveness and one-pointedness. And what I mean by one-pointedness is that we gain clarity on our duties, our responsibilities, and what right actions we should take with our lives. So it helps guide us with this web of a life that we keep living through. And so breath work, actually pranayama, which is breath work, it has everything to do with retention, breath retention. Not so much the inhalation or exhalation, but the goal of pranayama is retention. And that is called kumbhaka in Sanskrit. Kumbhaka is when we hold the breath. And because we're transcending the polar opposites of the breath to bring it together and get that expansive feeling. And so that's connected with the Vayus and the nadis. Well, everything's connected, but talking about it this way, hopefully it helps you further understand or perceive different types of energy and how you can utilize them in your practice and in your day-to-day life as well. So I hope that you found this video helpful, and that you find the discernment of the energy qualities that you want in your life. I appreciate you watching, and for any likes, comments, and subscribes. And I hope that you join me next time. Bye, everyone.